This is VFL Weekly Wrap for the final round, round 21. A full 10 games will be on. The one team that has the bye is Coburg. We'll get to that in a moment. Now, there are 5 games on Saturday and 5 on Sunday. On Saturday, Southport are at home. They're against North Melbourne at Fencas Reserve at 11 o'clock. North have lost 6 in a row. They can't make finals. Disappointing end to their season. Southport beat Werribee last week. They weren't convincing. They need to win to stay in that third spot. They're either going to finish third or fourth, so probably won't make a difference, but we'll see what happens. Southport should win quite comfortably. The game I'm going to is at Preston City Oval between Northern Bullants and Werribee. This is at 2 o'clock. Well, Werribee's had a miserable season, especially at home. And the Bullants, they've actually done well to win 2 games. And they've been competitive in the second half of the year, which is surprising. Well, Werribee got a ridiculous record against the Bullants. The Bullants just can't get near them at the moment in recent times. It'll be competitive, but I think Werribee's class and structure, even at Preston, at Kramer Street, will be too good. They should win this game. Also 2 o'clock, Port Melbourne against Collingwood. That's at North Port Oval. Port Melbourne, once again, threw away a chance to win. Collingwood had the bye last week. They need to win to stay in that top 6 and at least host a final. Whether they finish 5th, 6th, 7th or 8th. They win, they should be hosting a final. Whether it will be in a wild card or elimination, who knows. To logjam that ladder, well, I expect Collingwood to win this game because Port Melbourne have been awful this year, especially at home. I can't see how Collingwood let this one slip. Port Melbourne, they're just not playing well at the moment. Enough said there. Also, 2 o'clock on Saturday, Sandringham against Essendon. That's at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. This match will be to see who finishes 19th, third last on the ladder. The loser will be second last. Essendon 3 wins, Sandringham 3.5. Sandringham have been very competitive late. Essendon have lost a ridiculous amount of games now. I think it's 10 now. 10 in a row they've lost. Too many injuries. Sandringham should beat them quite comfortably out there. At 3:45 p.m, this is obviously before the AFL game. This is at Carrara, Gold Coast and GWS Giants. It's a big game for the Giants. They'll make the finals. If they lose, they'll finish 9th no matter what, and they'll have to travel to the wild card. They're on 10 wins. They need to win. They've got an excellent percentage. If they win, they can still sneak in that 6th, and if they win, they probably will most likely host the final. I think the Suns might get them, especially if it's out there. The Giants, they won their first 6 games, and they've only won 4 out of 11 since then. So that form line, that you can't like that form line. It's pretty awful. I think the Suns might beat them. The Suns were terrible last week at Princes Park. I went there. That last quarter where they kicked the last 6 goals should give them some confidence. I think they might win this. Now the Sunday games. There's one at Tramway Oval, Sydney Geelong. Sydney 18th, Geelong 12th. Geelong can still technically make the finals, but it's very unlikely. They're going to have to win by at least 20 goals and hope Williamstown lose. That's the only way they're going to get in. Geelong been good of late, and Sydney got all their players back. They're in form. It's going to be a very tight game. I think Sydney might just pull it off there. Now, the game at midday, Footscray Carlton at Whitten Oval. Carlton have been good lately. They were good last week for 3 and a bit quarters. Well, Carlton would like to win by 1 million points and hope everything goes their way, but it's not going to happen. Footscray fighting for top spot. I think Footscray should win this quite comfortably. They're very good at the Whitten Oval. This is probably match of the round. Casey against Box Hill at Casey Fields. Box Hill win. They finish top. If they lose, they probably fall to second, most likely. Casey, if they can win this game, if they can win, they will host the final. Whether it's elimination or the wild card, we don't know. If they lose, they probably slip to ninth and have to travel. That's a hard game to pick that. They're in great form, Casey. I think Box Hill will bounce back and finish top. They should finish top because of the percentage between them and Footscray. I'll get to that. Another massive game. This is for fourth spot, double chance. Frankston, Brisbane at Frankston Oval, Kinetic Stadium, 1 o'clock. It's going to be on. This is a hard game to pick. Frankston are ahead of Brisbane by a game, but if Brisbane beat Frankston, the same wins. The percentage difference, I'll have a look at it. Now the Frankston-Brisbane percentage is 2.5% difference. I say it's roughly 2 goals. If Frankston lose that match by 10 points or under, I think they'll get that fourth spot because Collingwood's Richmond's percentage, if they win, is way behind. So the winner of that match will be get fourth spot. Frankston win, they'll definitely finish fourth. Brisbane will have to win by at least 2 goals or over to pinch that fourth spot from Frankston. Having said that, I think Frankston are in good form. They've won 7 in a row. Brisbane are up and down. They missed a shot after the siren last week against Casey. That's going to bite them in the arse. I think Frankston will win and remarkably finish fourth. Now the last game, I'll probably go to this. This is a massive game at 2 o'clock at Point Gellibrand, Williamstown, Richmond. Williamstown, well, if you look at the team on paper, you'd have to say Williamstown, but look at Williamstown's form. They only won 1 of their first 5 games of the season. Then they went on that ridiculous winning streak of 8. Then, lightning struck. They lost to the Bull Ants and have lost 4 in a row. And they're just outside the 10 on percentage. They are behind Coburg on percentage. A loss is not enough for them. A draw will be enough to put them in. They have to win this game against the Richmond team that have got some confidence. They haven't got any big stars. They actually play as a team, Richmond. I watched them a couple of times. They're going to take some shifting, I think. I think Richmond will probably beat them, but Williamstown's record against them is pretty good. I just can't see how Williamstown just flick it on in that week. They had the bye last week as well. Richmond, they're in much better form as a team. They need to win this to host a final. They haven't got a ground, but if they want to finish top 6, they have to win this Richmond. It's a massive game. I think they'll win. This will be a very close game. As I said, the ladder. Now, Box Hill, Footscray. There's Box Hill are 4.3% ahead. That is roughly 12 goal difference there. So Box Hill just win by 1 or 2 points and Footscray win by 13 goals. Footscray will get them on percentage. But Box Hill, there's a bigger chance of Box Hill losing at Casey than that happening. So they're still all to play for. Whereas Frankston, Brisbane, 2.5% difference. Brisbane has to win by 2 goals or more to get through. Geelong's not going to win by 20 goals and sneak in. Mate, it's going to be good last round. The big one is Williamstown. They win, they're in the knockouts. If they lose, Coburg will make it. And also Frankston, Brisbane, the winner will get that 4th spot. It's going to be a very good last round of football. See you next time.